Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do our March the 25th Spiritual Principle Day in a meditation. I hope you're doing well this morning. Let's go ahead and get into that meditation. The title of it is Willingness Propels Us Forward. When we first begin to think about recovery, many of us either don't really believe it's possible for us or just don't understand how it will work. But we go ahead with the first step anyway. And that's our first experience with willingness. Now, that comes from the NA Step Working Guides. Step 1, spiritual principles. Early in our exposure to Narcotics Anonymous, many of us believe that mere abstinence will be enough. We tell a member who asks us if we've started working with a sponsor yet, "Oh, I'm fine as long as I'm not using. I don't want to do the steps and have a sponsor and all that." The member asks, "Well, weren't you willing to do things you didn't really want to do to feed your addiction? So why not apply that logic to staying clean and read about the first step?" Reason tells us that these are not parallel issues. We understand what we've got out of getting high, but are uncertain about what step 1 would do for us. We don't say this, however, because we are sure this member will have an answer to that too. Okay, then, the member says, wheels turning, "How about this? Are you willing to become willing?" As it turns out, we are, because we keep coming back. Most of us do find that willingness to begin the next phase of our journey. For some, we quickly saw the evidence of recovery working in other members' lives. We actively wanted to move forward and were willing to do whatever it took. For others, willingness came when our discomfort outpaced our resistance. For still others, we found it only after going back out and using more. Working on step 1 and staring straight into the mirror of our unmanageability can elicit intense emotions: shame, regret, remorse, anger, fear, and doubt. In response, a member said, "The stuff of our past can either be weight or be fuel. We don't want to be weighed down anymore, so we become willing to explore our burdens. We learn how to convert the pain of our past into fuel, and we use that fuel to propel ourselves further down the road toward freedom. I don't want only to be abstinent, I want to recover. I'm willing to start or come back to step 1 as often as is necessary to fuel my recovery." Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the reversion of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. How powerful is that? Talking about the willingness to become willing. Yeah, I think I can really agree with this meditation. I think that for me, I was very skeptical. Like I told you before, the God thing caused me so much hesitation. I didn't want anyone talking to me about their God. And I didn't want anyone asking me any questions. I had debated about my God for so many years. I didn't want anyone asking me any questions about my God. That was a big deal. The freedom of being able to be oneself and speak about whatever you're going through also sort of startled me. I didn't want it to be expected that I would share my gory details. And sometimes I was offended by gory details. Like, that's something you say to another woman. You don't come to the table and share that. So I learned that all of those things that I judged, eventually did them. But I also learned that people grow just like I've grown. And so in the beginning, I had all of these reservations about working this first step and getting a sponsor. It's quite normal. I just want to say that to the newcomer or the old timer that's still trying to get it right, working with their sponsor or get a sponsor. It's quite normal to be resistant. And when you see that you can, get by, you think, do I really need a sponsor? I mean, I've been clean all this time without one. Yeah, you've been clean all this time without one, and you still probably have a barrel full of contradiction and issues that still need to be worked out. You probably still don't know what was your part in making amends, your side of the road versus what was someone else's. You probably still are confused about your character defects, your flaws that everyone else glaringly sees because, those character defects cause you to do what? Fall short quite frequently, and you still think they're survival skills. So I can think of a ton of reasons why having a sponsor is beneficial, but what can you think of? Why is being willing to become willing important to you? What more do you seek? What are you lacking and thought by now you would have? I'm not talking about material things. I'm talking about relationships with people that mean something to you. Um, it could be economical attainment. It could be that spiritual voids that we still experience years after being clean. And so what's wrong? If you went to any lengths to use, what's wrong with going to any lengths to stay clean and recover? And I guess that's what I want to say. Like, you went to any lengths to actually, we went, not just you, me too. We went to any lengths to destroy everything around us, including ourselves. What's so wrong with going to any lengths to recover, restore, rebuild everything around us, including ourselves? All we're talking about is reading and interpreting what we read into our lives, apply it to ourselves. I don't get what's so scary about that. I don't. So today, let's think about that. Do you just want to be abstinent, or do you want to recover? And if you're wanting to recover, to what lengths are you willing to go to start your recovery? And how many times do you have to go back to step one? Doesn't really matter. As long as you know that step one is there for you, go back to it as often as you need to, right? Why do I need to store water if I already have water running through my pipes? Oh, I'm planning for a rainy day. I get it. That um end of the world mentality. I get that. But the point being, if I have plenty of something, why would I fret about when I need it? You have plenty of opportunities in life. The first step will always be available. What's the problem with going back to it when you need it? There's no problem. It's humility to go back to it. It's virtuous to go back to it. My name is MightyStream. I got to get to work, guys. I apologize for being so late taping today. I was so exhausted. Can you believe I slept till 6:30? I can't. I enjoyed the rest, but I'm at my job. in my office, spending some time with you because it's important for me to do, right? I know everyone knows that, some of these tapings have 3 years of the same meditation available if you search them up. You don't have to wait on me to talk about how this applies to me today. So I know some of you won't get back here until tomorrow because you enjoy listening to them early in the day. But for those of you who are listening today, I want for you to have a beautiful day. I know you can do it and you deserve it. So turn the butt kicking machine off. You deserve it. Okay. I believe in you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay.